Tuesday, June 10th. Central New York watched in horror as the Onondaga County Sheriff and District Attorney revealed the disturbing allegations.
He lured that 5-year-old girl into a wooded area and committed sex crimes.
34-year-old Ryan Pontello accused of raping a 5-year-old girl he did not know and sexually abusing 2 others.
There may be other victims out there.
He was right, and one of those victims was watching, a 17-year-old now living in another state, reliving a nightmare.
I remember crying and breaking down, not because for myself, more or less, more for the fact that it happened again.
She says what happened to her began more than a decade ago, but the painful memories came flooding back.
And that it happened to another 3-year-old, which is how old I was when it started. And another 5-year-old is how old I was when it stopped.
Today, she's an honor roll student, a star athlete. But in 2011, she was 3 years old, and she believes she was Ryan Pontello's first victim.
It was any time I was alone with him, that's when he would touch me or touch himself.
She says the abuse happened in her home in Palermo in Oswego County. Pontello was a neighbor and her brother's friend. She only knew him by his nickname, Goofy.
I was scared. I was terrified. And he told me if I told anyone, he would kill me and then my parents. So as a child, I believed him.
She kept that secret for 2 years until one day she shut down at the mention of his name and her mother noticed. She told her what happened and her mom called state police. Investigator Ben Miller picked up the phone.
It's the only case I ever had was someone who was nicknamed Goofy.
Miller is now retired from the state police, but even after 12 years, he still remembers the case and the family.
The victim was very credible, so we knew that something had happened. And when he told me nothing had happened, I knew he was lying.
We obtained those original police interviews, including Pontello's own alarming words. I am admitting that I have a problem, that I am attracted to young girls. I knew what I was doing was wrong, but the reason I did it was because I am aroused by young girls. Investigator Miller built his case and made the arrest.
You arrested him on felony charges. Did you think you had enough for a felony?
I did have enough for a felony, and just to be sure, I did consult with the DA's office at the time, who agreed with me.
So why wasn't he prosecuted for a felony? The district attorney at the time, Greg Oak, said he could not comment because he now works for the state attorney general's office. So he took our questions to his successor, current Oswego County DA, Anthony DiMartino.
Would you have pushed for a felony in this case?
Looking at the case now, as we speak, if it happened today in my administration, we most certainly would have pushed for a felony disposition on this. We would have pursued that as a felony. We would have prosecuted that case as a felony. Absolutely.
But Pontello did not face a felony. Instead, he cut a deal, pleading to a misdemeanor sex abuse charge, and the details of the case never went public. Pontello also underwent a sex offender risk assessment, and despite admitting he's attracted to young children, he scored a 65, which classified him as a level 1 sex offender, the lowest risk, meaning his name never went on the public sex offender registry.
Is it disappointing?
Yes, it is disappointing. You know, you do a lot of work and arrest somebody for a felony and then they're not convicted of a felony. It is disappointing, sure. Clearly he wasn't categorized high enough since he did reoffend.
If he had been convicted of a felony, DiMartino says there would have been more supervision and more oversight.
The felony disposition could have got him 10 years probation. He would have been in a sex offender court. There would have been a lot more protections.
And those protections, he says, could have changed what came next and protected other children.
This case is now haunting Oswego County, unfortunately.
They could have stopped this. They could have stopped this.
More than a decade later, the girl from the 2013 case has found her voice. And she says she's sharing her story for the little girls who can't.
But I know that 5-year-old is going to remember for life what that man did to her. I hope she knows she's not alone. And I hope she knows that I'm doing this for them, that I'm coming out with my story for them. So they know they're not alone.
As of right now, Ryan Pontello does not have any scheduled court appearances. Rachel Polansky, News Channel 9.